What's up, YouTube? Colin here for another video, short and sweet. Of course, on the carnivore diet. How I use the carnivore diet to heal my back pain or prevent my back pain. I guess they're the same. Quick backstory. The past year and a half, I've been struggling with back pain, and it might have just happened because I've been paying more attention to it. You know, getting older, years of sitting, playing computer games and working finally caught up to me. And so I started trying to do things to mitigate it. I would go to the chiropractor. I was read back mechanic books, try to do certain exercises. I think it also kind of coincides with my lack of deadlifting because I've been deadlifting and squatting for a long time, and I didn't stop deadlifting, but my weightlifting has become much less consistent over the past couple years. Before I owned a CrossFit gym back in Florida, I was training a lot more consistently. I just wasn't deadlifting as much and lifting as much. And I think there might be a correlation there. What's crazy, and I didn't expect this just happened. Since we moved out here about end of December, I've been mostly carnivore, like 99%. I think I've had pizza once, and I actually got sick for a few days. I got sick, and then not like throwing up sick, I got an actual cold. And that goes to show you just how, strong grains can be when they affect the gut and leaky gut and things like that. And, having stress from work, it all piles on, right? Either way, I've been 99% carnivore, super strict, still eating a little bit of dairy, but every meal I'm using IF, breaking my fast at 5-6 p.m., having a steak like I just did just now, and having maybe some heavy cream here and there, having the Rebel brand keto ice cream here and there. I didn't expect that my back pain would go away. Now, I had days where it was just nagging, and I would go to the chiropractor to relieve it, and then it would kind of come back for a while, and then I'd go to the chiropractor to relieve it. I haven't been to the chiropractor in about 60 days, literally since I've been doing this carnivore diet. I'm trying to think how to say this the right way. I don't have the back pain anymore. After I play racquetball or I lift or whatever, if I'm really sore and tired, it'll kind of creep up, but it's not the same kind of chronic pain that I used to have. And I have it in my lower back. I've had anterior pelvic tilt, and I work on my psoas in the front. There's a lot of different variables here. Back pain is kind of like a black box. Like, people don't really know how to diagnose it. Doctors don't. They suggest surgery, and usually that makes it worse. So back pain is a very strange thing. I have a theory though, and that's really the point of this video. My theory is that my back pain is connected to an inflamed gut. How did I arrive at that theory? And what is that based on? Okay, well, I ate pizza once during my 60+ day carnivore thus far, and I basically got sick the next day, a cold sick. Your immune system's in your gut. Makes sense, connected, right? I think my gut is probably more sensitive to grains and gluten than I thought. 2, I read in one of those back books I read there or in an article somewhere about the connection between needing to take a poop and back pain. I don't remember the exact mechanism, but it was something along the lines of there's pressure in your gut somewhere. Obviously, feces builds up and it expands probably and has to then be released. And it talked about how a lot of people will actually alleviate back pain once they take a bowel movement, probably because it releases that pressure. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. I've thought about that in my life, and I've kind of maybe seen a little correlation when I was struggling with the back pain a lot. I could definitely see that. So I thought about that, and then I thought about the fact, well, wait a second. If my gut's inflamed, maybe it's putting a certain kind of pressure or impinging or just pressing on something that is causing the weird alignment of my spine and causing that nagging pain. I think that's what's going on. Now, of course, there's inflammation, which is something that can be connected to a million variables that you can't really isolate. And when you go to a carnivore diet, you reduce so much inflammation for various reasons. I'm reducing inflammation, so that's gonna be playing a role in here somewhere. I legitimately think that my gut not being as inflamed, and I've actually lost some weight, I've lost some body fat, so maybe again, there's less visceral fat somewhere, and it's maybe changing the alignment of something. I legit think it's some combination of not eating grains and gluten and other inflammatory foods, and that not putting a certain kind of pressure on my internal organs and or back, gut, hip makeup. And I think as a result, it's like something that was like sticking in my side, right? Like because something was being pressed into it. And I feel like carnivore has basically let my body realign so that thing is no longer sticking anymore. This isn't scientific, but I even contemplated getting surgery, and I would have days of despair where I'm like laying in bed and I'm like, am I gonna have to live with this pain my whole life? There are people that go years with chronic disease and they just mitigate the symptoms and they do all the things the doctor tells them to do. Take your statin, shoot up your insulin, take your pills, and eat whole grains. And they live with suffering. Now, I can tell you right now, the human animal is not designed to suffer. In our modern environment, we do suffer. Food is one of the primary culprits for our suffering. I didn't think carnivore would have any effect whatsoever on my back pain, but it has. And it's just one of more of those things that's like, you can't ignore it. And this isn't a study. There's not a scientist. I'm not answering a questionnaire. So you're not gonna see this published in some journal. But does that mean I'm making this up? No, it's definitely not placebo. I guarantee you that. The importance of N equals 1. You gotta figure it out for yourself. And to wrap this up, I believe humans are primarily carnivores. Obviously, I've been doing a ton of videos on carnivore diet, but I'm doing it because I kind of fell into it. I was introduced to it by primarily Paul Saladino, who was on the Ancestral Mind podcast. I met him through my sister, say 6 months, a year ago maybe. I kept it in my head a little bit, and I was like, oh, interesting. And so I started eating maybe more protein, maybe kind of focusing on that a little bit. And then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go clean. It's time to get rid of the sugar, the grains, everything. Let's go 100% clean. And I was like, you know what, carnivore is perfect. I would have done keto, like a paleo keto, but then I'm like, why not do something like carnivore, but like a little bit percent, if I want to have some sweet potatoes here and there, or if there's some like veggies, whatever, I'll have them. It's freaking amazing. And this is just one of those extra benefits that is just unplanned for, that is profound, and that could potentially save me thousands of dollars over my lifetime, not to mention the massive amount of time from not having to suffer, and my increased productivity, because it definitely cut into my work routine. I'd either have to lay down, or I couldn't be fully in my work because I was distracted because my back hurt. This could be millions of dollars over the course of my lifetime if it's affecting my work directly now, what I'm doing with wild foods. That's insane when you really think about it. I just want to share that with you. This is another one of those kind of benefits. I just put out the pro and con video of carnivore, which you can see up here. And if you want kind of a brief overview of the pros and cons I've been experiencing on a carnivore diet, then check that out. But, you know, this might be one of those things that, do you have some kind of nagging pain or issue that is 100% connected to inflammation? Because every pain and issue in the human body is in some way connected to some kind of inflammation. Carnivore could mitigate or eventually potentially heal whatever that problem is. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, Colin here. Thanks for watching that video. I got a free PDF for you, The 7 Principles of Living Wild. Short and sweet, not long, not gonna be a novel you have to read or anything, just a simple reference of the things that make you a healthy human. So click on the button below, get that right now, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.